George Kittle, Christian McCaffrey, and the 49ers host Matthew Stafford, Davante Adams, and Los Angeles Rams in a fierce NFC West showdown. These two teams are bitter rivals. All of the evidence points towards a very good football game from Levi Stadium in a very nice afternoon matchup. Now, we have to start with San Francisco because this team pulled off an awesome Thursday night football win against Los Angeles. It came down to a 4th-and-1. No doubt agree with the decision for Sean McVay to go for it. I just thought in that spot, you would have thrown the football to your best player in Puka Nacua. They decide to run the football and they get stuffed. Remember, that was the game. Kyren Williams going in for the win and he fumbles at the 1-yard line. San Francisco, unfortunately, on the defensive side of the ball, they are dealing with some severe injuries. Yetur Gross-Matos, he's on IR. They lose their rookie first-round draft choice and Michael Williams to an ACL. The MetLife turf strikes again for another player done for the year. It's awful what's happening with that field, but it continues to be an issue for Los Angeles. Tutu Atwell goes to IR. He's been an effective number 3 wide receiver, but it does look like Puka Nacua is fully healthy. And when he's on the field, and when Davante Adams is on the field, this just might be the best wide receiver duo in the National Football League. Against the 49ers on that Thursday night game earlier in the season, they combined for a total of 23 targets. On those targets, they had 15 catches, 173 yards, and a touchdown. I think there's a lot more of that coming at San Francisco. I think that Sean McVay is going to be very keen to attack that 49er defense. When they went up against San Francisco, there was Fred Warner roaming around the middle, making plays. He had 12 tackles. You cannot understate at any point how important Fred Warner is to this San Francisco being the life force of this team, the heart and soul of what the 49ers are about. Without him, I frankly immediately go edge to Los Angeles Rams. This is a team that has leaned on teams in their last couple of matchups. Against Jacksonville, they dominated that team. Stafford, 5 touchdowns. Against the Saints, 2 teams that they should beat, that they did beat. The Saints, 4 touchdowns from Matthew Stafford. He's got 20 touchdowns, 1 interception on the season, firmly putting himself in the conversation to be the most valuable player in the National Football League, to be the NFL MVP. I said 20 touchdowns, 1 pick. He's got 21 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. Not that that's a massive difference overall on the season. I think that the Rams do have an advantage attacking that San Francisco secondary, but when you look at San Francisco and what they did in the first game, my question to you, with my chest, looking you directly in the eyes, if you're a 49er fan, is can San Francisco get away with the same game plan that they had against the Rams on Thursday night? If I'm Kyle Shanahan, I'm going to try and come out with it, see if it's available to me. But I believe that this Rams defense is going to dial it up a little bit better, and they are going to be more aggressive. San Francisco, they checked down the Rams to death in that game. Christian McCaffrey flat out murdered them in that matchup. It was a massive day for McCaffrey. He dominated the Rams in that matchup. He had the type of game that makes you question why the Rams stuck with giving them the soft passes to Mac Jones throughout the entire day. Christian McCaffrey, by the way, is a top 10 receiver in the NFL right now. I know he's a star running back, but statistically, he's a top 10 receiver. He had 8 catches, 82 yards, and a touchdown against the Rams. Combine that with 22 carries. This man had 30 touches overall on the day, targeted 9 times, and that was also the game Kendrick Bourne decided to go crazy with Mac Jones at quarterback. As of the recording of this video, it is Tuesday. I do not know who the starting quarterback will be. It's been the entire theme around here with Blitz with Blender and the videos that I make, these previews and predictions. I have not known who the quarterback will be. My default every week has just been to go with Mac Jones because they've still been winning. I mean, they've got a 6-3 record and they beat the Rams on the road the last time they played them. Why would you change that up? Brock Purdy's the type of impact player that you do put in a game like this. If he is healthy, there's no doubt about that. But again, I talked about that style. Mac Jones played a heck of a game against the Rams that Thursday night game. 33 of 49. 342, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. That 49er team struggled to run the ball, only a little bit over 2 yards a carry. But how did they win that game? It was efficiency. It was third down, being able to have success when it mattered the most. They didn't do great on third down overall, below 50%, well below. They were 7 of 18, but they maintained time of possession. They kept the football in their possession 40 minutes to 26 in that overtime game, with them controlling the clock, controlling the football, tiring out that Rams defense with the win there. I don't think that's going to be able to fly in this one. Byron Young has turned into an absolute force for the Rams. One of the best pass rushers now and edge defenders in the National Football League. You pair that with Jared Verse, who he's eating up double teams. You've got Kobe Turner in the middle of that thing. This Rams defense is a true top 5D in the league. And then you look at Nate Landman. People call him Landman, whatever. He's a good football player. He had 14 tackles and 3 passes defended against San Francisco. I think he has another large impact. This is a guy that's playing at an all-pro level. He can be a major force for them to win this game. I got to tell you right now, I'm leaning again towards the Rams because it's very hard to beat Sean McVay twice. Of course, it's tough to beat Kyle Shanahan twice. It's just when I look at the way that the Rams lost and how frustrated I was just as a fan watching that game, saying, I want to see an adjustment. Take Christian McCaffrey and those angle or these checkdowns away and force him to go to someone else besides him or Bourne. And the Niners just kept going right back at it. Kyle Shanahan dialing it up. San Francisco 49ers consistently marching the ball down the field. You had the fumble right inside the red zone. You had the Stafford toss play to Blake Corum where he's not able to hold on to the football, and the Niners take the ball away, and they're able to recover that. That was a game that Niners were looking to walk away, blow out the Rams, and they found themselves in a tight game. Eddie Pinheiro kicking, a 58-yard massive field goal in that game. This was maybe the game of the year to this point overall. You've seen some fun games, Buffalo, Baltimore early, but divisional playoff implications, divisional rivalry implications to see where the division winds up. This game is tremendous. I can't tell you enough. If San Francisco wins, they will be 7-3. They will be perfect in the division still. They will be 2-0 on the Rams, so they will hold a tiebreaker, bouncing the Rams down to 6-3 on the season, meaning San Francisco finishes 11-6. The Rams finish 11-6. They hold the tiebreaker. They are the team that wins the division, not the Rams. Or if they're the 7 seed, the Rams are the 8. They get into the playoffs and not the Rams. More likely than not, it would probably be a race for who wins the division, not who makes the playoffs with these two teams. If San Francisco were to beat LA, I think this is a game that solidifies the San Francisco 49ers as the team to beat in this division if they pull off this win. I think the Rams, with their game against Seattle next week, they still have a lot to announce to the football world. I think with what this roster is capable of, that there is still a lot for them to show people. They showed it against the Eagles for 59 minutes, and they had a chance to win that game, fell short. Against San Francisco, had a chance to win that game, fell short. Those are their only 2 losses on the season. This team could be 8-0. San Francisco, they're looking at that saying, I don't care. We're an efficient football team. All the injuries we've dealt with, we still beat you guys. We got you at home. We feel great about this matchup. I think Kyle Shanahan knows that he's got to keep the time of possession in his favor, keeping the completions easy. Whether it's Brock Purdy or it's Mac Jones, efficient checkdowns, the throws over the middle where Mac Jones he's an elite processor of information. You want to talk about him in any sort of negative sense, I'm going to give you pushback. I really like the way Mac Jones gets through his progression from 1 to 2 to 3 and delivers the football on time. He's not a guy that's going to hold on to the football too long. This is a player that wants to play with anticipation, play on time, deliver it. That's exactly what you have to do in this Kyle Shanahan offense, not turn the football over, get it out to the right player. And Brock Purdy just does all of that stuff just to a little bit of a higher degree with a level. Their arm talent, frankly, is a little bit similar. Maybe Mac has just a little bit more sauce through that right elbow than what Brock Purdy comes to the table. But overall, I don't think that there is a massive difference in terms of a ceiling what this Niner offense will look like. Look, there's going to be no Ricky Pearsall for the 49ers. This team has dealt with all of these injuries. There is a chance he could play. Look, it looks like he could play. Most likely, it looks like he won't. Again, Brandon Ayuk hasn't been available for them the entire season. When do they get him back? I just think that there's a little bit too much stacked in the way that the Rams have looked as of late. This looks like an offense that's humming. They're playing it fourth, fifth year right now, just deciding we're going to air this thing out. I think this could be a game where Matthew Stafford can throw for 400 yards. I'm going to come out here, say it with my chest. He threw for 389 in the last matchup. I think he can go for 420 in this one. There's no reason for the Rams to say, hey, all right, we're going to slow the game down, play it to the 49ers type of script, maintain time of possession, playing a one. I think the Rams just want to win this game by 10, by 13 points, emphatically get a road win, prove that they believe they have the better roster, that's healthier overall, in the more dynamic passing offense. Matthew Stafford at that MVP caliber he's played at, why is that the case that he could win the MVP? This man and his pocket presence is elite. That arm has still got plenty of juice. He can read a defense. I mean, I would argue to the level of, Aaron Rodgers. He's right up there with him. The way that he's able to manipulate the pocket and work across the entire field and get to his check down, his fourth, fifth option in about 3.5 seconds is probably second to none in the league. Again, right up there with Aaron Rodgers in that sense. It's funny when you look at these guys and you actually have a true debate of who's had the more impressive NFL career. Look, Matthew Stafford without the MVPs, Aaron Rodgers, the 4 MVPs. Of course, that's the ultimate indicator. Matthew Stafford, if he were to get 2 Super Bowls, that certainly would be a little bit interesting. I think it sounds like I'm a Rams fan. I'm not a Rams fan. I just like what this Rams team's working with. I've got a ton of respect for the 49ers. It's just I'm going with a little bit of the recency bias here and what these teams have looked like overall and what the roster composite is. So please, if you're a 49er fan, don't think that I'm disliking San Francisco. Look, I love me some San Francisco 49er football. This team has a brand that's tough, that does things the right way, a physicality, an element of talent acquisition that's been stellar. So I feel for a team that's dealing with all these injuries and what they've had and the injury luck this year. That's been horrendous overall. I'm going to go with the Rams to win this game. It's tough. I'm going to say 31-24. 31-24. The Rams get the win. I think that they could be up by about 10, 13 points, and San Francisco cuts it to a one-score game. I truly believe that if they can decide. I mean, San Francisco is going to come out playing a very similar style to what we saw. For the Rams, I believe, if they're going to hit you over the top, and George Kittle, he's a guy that wasn't in that game last time. He's the type of player that can go for 8-9 catches in this one. He's the type of factor. I know 49er fans are saying to me right now, this entire video, look, we've got Kittle. We didn't have him last time. We still beat this team. Just because of that last matchup, that doesn't have a full bearing on what this one will look like, especially if the Rams are adjusting things as a defense. Now, if Mac Jones doesn't play, that entirely puts this one up for grabs. Frankly, I would change that prediction, make it probably 31-27, 28. I think Brock Purdy's actually worth another 3 points in this game because of how much of a conflict that puts the Rams defense in and stylistically how they want to approach this game. Whereas right now, I truly think it's hey, let's make Mac Jones sit there in the pocket and we can rush 4, get pressure on him with our arguably best defensive front 4 in the NFL and force him to throw the football down the field. And we play 2 deep, 5 under. We take away the underneath zones, force him to throw the football down the field. And Mac Jones showed he could do that against the Rams. Don't think I'm not going to give this guy credit. He played a heck of a game against the Rams in a Levi South environment, so to say, at the Rams house. He was making throws, but again, he was 5 of 10 on throws beyond 10 yards. And then you look at what his completion percentage was on the throws short of 10 yards. He was about, 80% completion percentage on the day. in that game. So that's important. Make him have to throw the football more than 10 air yards, 15 air yards down the field to have success. Again, let me know down below in the comments who you think wins this game. I got to hear from you guys. I'm fascinated by this one based on the way that it looked earlier in the year. And again, LA, in my opinion, they will not win the NFC West if they lose this game. I'm going to come out here and say that. I think Seattle's been too good. The way San Francisco's schedule looks, this team has 11-6 sort of written all over it. Penciling that in, a win like this, they just might find themselves hitting that 11-6 with that tiebreaker against LA. I think it's just too tough for the Rams with that tiebreaker behind them. It's more like they'd be a game and a half behind if they're 6-3 behind a 49ers team. That would be 7-3, a half game up, plus that tiebreaker that equals a game and a half to come back the rest of the season, especially with what the Rams have the rest of the way. This team's still got a matchup with the Detroit Lions. They've still got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They've still got the Seattle Seahawks twice. So you're talking about, still four very tough football games that they're going to have to play. I guess that's five. You got Detroit, Tampa, Seattle twice the rest of the season, and Tampa. I mean, man, that's going to be difficult, right? Because you got the divisional winner in Tampa, divisional winner in Detroit, and that divisional winner in Philly. But Rams get a win here, and they look ahead towards Seattle. Without a doubt, then it starts to look like it's materializing that the Rams and the Seahawks are two of the better teams in the NFC West, and that sort of last stretch of the season could determine that. So let me know all that stuff down below. If you have not already, please subscribe for more Blitz with Blender content in the future. I'm Josh Blender. I appreciate you so much for watching. It makes my day to see these comments, positive or negative, whatever they are. Get down there in the comments, comment, subscribe for more from me, and I will see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching.